Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly office hours. Hope everyone is doing okay. As you already know, in Foyr, we can not only design interiors, but we can also work on the exterior of our project. And today's episode will be just about that. So what we have on an agenda, it's how to design outdoor spaces, and here's what we will cover. First, design patios, gardens, and terraces to create outdoor spaces that complement your interiors, using furniture and landscaping tips, and some pro hacks. First, I will walk you through the catalog, our outdoor catalog, and just to show you what's in there, what you can use, what you can do with it. Then I will show you two examples of simple garden outdoor spaces, and then we can start answering some questions. My project is loading, so just give me a second. Okay, so first we'll go to the catalog. If you will scroll down, then we have our outdoor category. We have some subcategories here. And when we will start with, let's say, landscapes, then you have many subcategories here. We have some canopies, gazebos, umbrellas. So have a look. We also have like enclosed gazebos that you can use. You can, for example, place furniture under that and just start working about your exterior projects. We also have tents and domes. They're quite a thing now. So have a look. Then we also have some shrubs and hedges. So if you need any plants, then you will find them here. We also have in staging catalog, we also have some potted plants if you want to add them into your outdoor area. Some hedges. So we can create like a nice hedging that will be covering our walls. Then we have decks, some pebbles and rocks, some larger trees, even fountains. We will find them here. We have some creepers and climbers that you can use to cover your walls as well. We also have swimming pools. They're ready to go in different shapes. And we also have some land covers, so you can create like area with the Create New Product tool and then upload your own textures or the textures from our catalog, or you can choose some of these textures and just multiply them, put them next to each other and simply multiply them. We also have gates for your outdoor areas. Then when we go to outdoor furniture, then there's a full collection of outdoor furniture, also outdoor kitchens. We also have some outdoor lighting. And then we have gardening and structure. So from here, you can choose some fences, gazebos. As you can see, there's many of them. So like you don't need to build your own. You can use the ones here. We also have some pergolas ready to go. Some of them really nice contemporary ones. Trellises, sculptures. Then we have planters vases and also fireplaces. So now let me just open one of. So this one is just an outdoor space. I wasn't creating anything inside. It was just to create like a luxury patio area. So in this particular design, what I did was I just created a room. Then I've used our pre-made pergola that you will find in a catalog. I've placed a table, I've placed a bar with some chairs, I've added lights. And now for the outside, I actually didn't create any landscaping because I just needed the patio space. But what I did on my wall, I just pasted an image. So it's like a custom environment. And that is just working as my background, as my garden. So then when you will create a render, I hope you can see, yeah, great. So then when you will create a render, it will look like you have actually garden extension and with like a garden room in the back. So let me show you how that looks when the render is finished. You can control the intensity of your light when you will be doing your render. So this is how it looks. We have some light coming from the sides, and then we have the image here that actually looks like there is a garden created at the back. So it all depends. What do you need to create? If you need to create like a fully landscape, then of course you can use any object from our catalog, and you're also able to create that. We'll go back to this one now. So then I have like a smaller garden with a swimming pool. That's how it looks in 2D. So basically, I had a room and then I built a room around it that is working as my garden. Now you can create outdoors areas with the pre-made products that we have in our catalog, for example, by using geometric shapes and then just adding different textures. In here, I've created like a rounded patio area with few steps. But then on the render, it actually looks really nice. So if I'll just show you the render with the environment and everything, it looks way different. So just let me share the screen now. Okay, so as you can see, like there's reflection in water, so that looks really nice, really realistic. And in this one, I have lower walls, so we can see the environment that is around our garden. Now, for your walls, you can go with the higher walls, and then simply we can go with higher walls, and then we can simply just make the angle on your render so you can see the environment that is behind the wall, and then just use like some hedging or any other planters just to cover your walls with any other textures, and then you just don't need to worry about the environment that is behind you. Or again, if it's not really big size of the wall, if it's not a big distance, then you can just use an image of a ready-made garden and go with that. To start, just let me go with this one first. So pretty much to start, you will add an outdoor area into your existing floor plan, or you can just create an outdoor area if you're only working with outdoor area. If you don't need any images of the house standing in the garden, then you can just simply create an outdoor area by itself. In this one, I have a bungalow here, and I just added like outdoor space. So then we can start uploading different textures in 3D. But first, what you can do, you can click in the middle of that added space and go to edit. And now you can either leave it same height as your floor plan, or you can change this entire added room, so entire space. Again, what do you need to create? And if you want to have some environment visible, if you like, if there's only like a low fencing, or if you can actually, create maybe your own high fencing and just add plants, and you don't need to be worried then about any other environments. Let's say that we'll just leave it the same height as we have our other walls. So now if I will switch to 3D, I can use invisible material on my area for this one here. So then when we go to render, then our ceiling will be non-existent. So first I will go to textures and I will type in invisible material. If you need if you need some grass, then simply go to texture, type in grass, and you can apply grass. And then on top of the grass, you can start creating different layouts. So for example, some decking area, or if you need to create like a patio or gazebo, and underneath gazebo, different, again, different texture, like some paving, things like that, then you can just simply use our geometric shapes to do it, or you can create it with the create new product tool. So if you need a grass, then start with grass first, and then you can just start adding different textures. If you're working with your outdoor space, then you don't need to switch off the auto hide wall. So you're able to navigate and just see into inside of your garden. So first you can find the texture for your outdoor walls. Then again, you can either upload your own, or you can choose any of the ones that we have here. If you're looking for a stone texture, use a stone texture. If it's something else, then simply use something else. Now for patios areas or anything else, then either go to our category for the outdoor category and see what's in there and just use it. Or if you need something specific, then you can pretty much build it yourself. So I've showed you like just a few examples, and now I think it will be better if you will start asking questions. So maybe you have some like a specific questions, and like how to start working with the outdoors or anything else. So go ahead and start asking questions, and I will try to. Can you show how to do a pool and the kitchen? Yeah, sure. So with the pool, you simply either go to category, the outdoor category, or you can type in swimming pool. You can choose whichever, and you just place it anywhere. You can resize it, like it's flat on the surface. You can change the depth of it so it can go a bit higher off the ground if you want to. and you can simply resize it. It will have nice reflection and everything, so it will look realistic. It will look that is actually deep, not flat on the surface that you're applied it on. So you simply get a pull. If you want to like create any other shape, then from the textures, you will just take a water texture and just apply the water texture into the inside. For the outdoor kitchens, let me see what we have in here. I think I was using this one before as well in one of the projects. This one is actually nice. It's like a full size kitchen, outdoor kitchen with added like a pergola, so you can even create something on the top and like, make create like a shade over it. And now you can change some textures here. So if I zoom in, and now you can change all the textures here that you see. You can change them so you can fully incorporate that into the design of your garden space. Pool punching. The pool will go automatically into the ground, so you don't need to use the punch tool. Um, if somehow it's not visible, then just click on it, click on the free movement and click on the punch. But usually it just goes flat on the surface and it's just there. How are you downloading those different backgrounds for the render? So there's simply images from like taken online or even image if you like, taken with a camera of any garden, and then you just upload it simply as a texture and apply it as a texture on the wall. Yes, that's just a photo pasted behind it. Yes. Yeah. How can you create an overhang from the pool house? Um, are you talking, Kendra, are you talking about like overhang plants, or do you want to build something around your pool area? If you can elaborate on that. And in the meantime, I will answer Monica's question. The lighting is always super harsh when I do outdoor spaces. Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I will get back to it in a second. Since it is in an architect program, what tips do you have for that so the render lighting comes out best? So, if you go to rendering, then we have a dome lighting here. So, if you go to lighting, product lighting, then dome exterior lighting, that calls now exterior lighting instead of dome lighting. So, it's like, it's easier to understand that tool now. So, here, that's where you can steer the intensity of your exterior light. So it will be set on low. Try to get a preview first and see if it's not too dark. The renders that I did before, they were either with medium exterior lighting or high exterior lighting. Then you can move around your sun to create, for example, like a bit of a shade area or like, more of a sunny spots. So you can move that around. But to steer the intensity of the light, then just use the exterior lighting and get a preview and see. That should change it. Like if you had it on high, then that should change it from the very harsh one to more delicate one. Build something around the building to allow for shade coming from the roof. Yeah, so then you can simply use either shapes or create new product tool. You can, for example, create a shape. Let's say that we have our pool here and coming from the house. You can either add one of the gazebos that we have in the catalog. So if I go back here, and pretty much paste it into the house. and create a shade somehow, even something simple like that. Or if you need some specific, then simply use create new product tool. You can even create it over here and then just resize it and stick it to one of the sides of the house. The easiest way will be just to use any of our ready-to-go pergolas and just change a texture of it, and you're simply ready to go. If you raise the pool, what does it look like underneath, or what's the purpose of doing that? Like I didn't raise the pool, I just changed the depth of it because sometimes they might look very flat on the surface. So if you want to have, for example, like a step into the pool, then you will just change the depth. If I will put it up, then like there's like it is like a bit of depth of it. It just goes automatically into the ground, but that's like this part is usually not the part that is visible. So it will stay in the ground. If you want to raise it a bit above the ground, then you will just change the depth a bit. So this edge here will be a bit higher and will just stick above the ground. You can also, like, if you need it to be like a higher up, like even for example, something like that, then you can just change the texture on the outside and you can leave it like that as well. How do you make cement around the pool? You can, this would be extending the original roof out around the outdoor kitchen to create an awning. Yeah, so for that you will, I think the best will be to use the create new product tool, or maybe even the shape if it's only working um, as a solid roof. If you will need any openings in that awning, then you can use the create new product tool and use the push and pull to create, for example, openings. If the catalog, we have some like a canopies that you can incorporate as well. So it just depends if you need like a solid build, pretty much just with the roof area, because if you will leave the existing roof, then the roof will be all over your garden. So like it's better just to hide it with the invisible material and then just build out the piece of a roof that you need over your swimming pool. So for example, if we even take the create new product tool, create yourself, then you will start, give it some depth. And then you can just bring it up and you can add some columns on the side, give it a different texture, and that will be working pretty much as a simple roof over your swimming pool area. If you need any openings, then you can simply modify it. You can create different shapes and just use the push and pull to create cavities. How can we create different shape of the swimming pool? Again, you will use either not geometric shapes because then you won't be able to like apply texture inside. So for different shapes, you will use the create new product tool, leave it on the ground, create an offset, and within the offset, you will apply a water texture. Like I don't know if it will look as realistic as the ones that we have already made, but yeah, but you can try and it should look nice as well. You're welcome, Kendra. And then I had a question about the cement around the pool. Yeah, you can drop the pool on top of the cement. So you can either use the texture that we have in our catalog, or you can outline the area of your cement patio, for example, again with the create new product tool, and then you can just paste swimming pool on top of that. So now if you create it, it will automatically go under your swimming pool, and now you're able to apply cement or any other paving texture around your swimming pool. You can create like different shapes out of it. So for all of that, just use the create new product tool. If there's if any of the swimming pools doesn't work for you, you can always upload a 3D model of a swimming pool that you want to use or get it created. So you can just send a request and that will be created for you, or try to create it with the create new product tool. Yeah, we have like a water texture. So we have water blue, bright water blue, and deep water. So you can just apply these textures into the inside of your pool. For example, if you will, let's say that you will create your own pool. I will just do like a simple rectangular shape just to show you what I have in mind. So for example, if we will give it some depth, then just create the offset. And now use the push and pull just to bring it a bit down. Then you might even add like a tile texture on the side and then add a water texture. Like, I don't know how that will look on the render. If not, then just leave it up and just for the inside, just apply a water texture on like in the middle. So we have the water, and then you can apply any other texture for the outside. And you can put it a bit into the ground. Like, as you can see, like this one has totally different texture, but then again, you can upload a texture of like swimming pool water, so it looks more realistic, and just apply it into, okay, let's say this one. And we also have like a pool water. Yeah, so we have pool water. So this one should look pretty much the same as this one will look on the render. So there's loads more water textures that that you can use for swimming pools that you create by yourself. Do you have any other questions? We have stones, even mountains. They can be resized, so you can really create like a nice landscapes with like, you know, like even like a terrain style landscape. So they're going from like a higher to lower grounds. Then, as you can see, we have some land coverings as well, so you can use them. And if any of that doesn't work, then again, you can just create something with the create new product and upload your own textures. With pots, you can use our ready to go pots, or if if they're just a simple ones with, let's say, like a wooden ones or whatever, then you can also create them and just apply texture on them. But we have some planters. I think if I put planter. And we have like a wooden planters as well that you can use. And if you don't need these hedges, then you can use invisible material on the plants and just put your own plants inside. Then we have like an empty planter here. Then again, you can change the color of it or texture of it. We also have even like a corner ones. So type in and just see what's in there, and you can use it in your own projects. There's actually loads for outdoors that no, not on, yeah, on the plant. So the same as I used for the ceiling to cover it. So for example, if you will use this planter here, let's say this one here, and you want to put different plants inside, let's say we'll resize it. Then you can go to texture, you can type in invisible material, and you should be able to cover just the plants. As you can see, now if you do the render, they won't be visible. And now you can put your own plants inside the planter. Because sometimes you might like the planter, but you might not like what's in there. So just use the invisible material. The same like with this one, you can actually add some plants inside, and we even have like a pebbles rocks. So like, you can add like a very small rocks inside, I think in texture, that it pretty much looks like a ground. So you can add it into your flower pot, as a texture for the inside as well. And it will look very realistic. Because that's like when you're taking a product from our catalog, and most of the time that product is created from many different components. So if it is created from more than one component, then you can apply multiple textures on it. And invisible material works pretty much as a texture. You just hide in things with it. So for example, this if we click on the planter of the ground that is inside of the planter, and then the plant itself. So you just drop the texture on the part that you want to hide, and it will hit it. So it will basically apply a texture that makes the part invisible. Yeah, I know that many of you still don't know about existence of invisible material, but this tool is actually so great. Even if you're, for example, sorry that I'm like going to like and changing the subject, but even if you're using like a bed that already has bedclothes on it, and you don't want the bedclothes or even the mattress, then you can use the invisible material to cover that. The same if you have a sofa and it has cushions on it, or like outdoor furnitures, and like and there are like cushions on the sofa, then you can use invisible material to cover them as well. So it's really useful for, I don't know, faucets that you don't like. If you're using a sink and there's a faucet that you don't like, or a vanity with a sink on top and you don't like the sink, use the invisible material, cover it, and then just put the one that you like. The same for hardware. You can even hide hardware with the invisible material. You just go to texture, and if you type in invisible material, that's just a texture. This is your invisible material. So don't use the like invisible glass material that like that will make, for example, your ceiling invisible, but it will be like outline of it in 3D. So like it will look like a sketch, but then that won't be visible. So this is your invisible material. Just put a heart on it, shortlist it, and it will be always there. As you can you always learn something new. Night renders outside. With the night renders, first you will just change the environment. So let's say we go just for so you will go to lighting. From the presets, you will choose evening or even nighttime. Then we can choose some different environments. For example, we have like a sunset at the Foyr. So like the color of the sky will be a bit different. If it's like a nighttime, then from the presets, you will choose a night. You will go to different environments. Like with this one, we have like, you know, some of the environment and environment is visible. So yeah, we can set it, we can rotate it. And then with the product lighting, like we have exterior lighting, it will be set on none because that's nighttime. Your sun will be switched off, so you can't steer that. But if it will come too dark, then you can change the intensity for the low or even medium. Use the preview always. How about a balcony design? A balcony design, um, I did the balcony before. I don't know if we have like ready to go ones, but if not, then the simplest way is to like we have like a balcony wooden floor, railings, but the best way is to either use the geometric shapes. So if I will have, let's say, a second level here and just want to create a balcony, then I will use like a solid cube, geometric shapes, wall duct. I will resize it. And then from our railings, I will just simply add a railing, add a different texture, add some planters, even some furnitures, and your balcony is ready. Then you can, if we go to building elements and stairs and railings, then we have some railings and handrails, and you can pretty much just use them. You can either resize it or you can just clone it and it will be just like it, you know. Put it on the sides, apply different texture, and you have your balcony. You can also create with the same shape, you can also create like a roof area above your balcony if you need to. And then you can add some even lights on the, you know, on the ceiling that will be above your balcony. Yeah, so in this one, I don't think if we can, I will see if we can use the invisible material just for the post, but I'm not sure because this one might be like a full, but we'll see. I think if we can. Okay, yeah. So you can cover this one. No, you see, like all of them. Use a different one, but with this one, like you will have like a double post. But for example, this one here, like this one is a bigger one, so we can pretty much resize this one and to change texture of it, and maybe this one will work better. And then just add another piece on the other side so they will join in the corner. That's how I explained at the beginning, like if if it's made from multiple elements, then sometimes these elements are grouped, so they when you apply the invisible texture, for example, for the posts, it will go for all the posts, like only the railing was like a separate part. So check and see how does that work for the one that you want to use. Like for example, like this balcony I actually created, like that's actually very long. So if you will need maybe something not as long, then maybe like the one that I used before, it will work. But as you can see, like we have loads of railings, so even like glass ones. So I'm sure that like you will find one that will work okay for your project. Like this one, for example, here it doesn't have any posts, so you can just multiply them and place them next to each other and they will look all nice. Then we have like another example of similar as this one here. So yes.
Magda, how do you put the post on the end if it isn't complete?
I will just pretty much put it on the side, this one. And I will just join them. Yeah, so if you can see, it looks pretty much identical from one side and the other.
And what do you do with that extra that's hanging inside the house?
Just see like with this one, if you would like to have it pretty much in the same distances that you have the one in the front, then like that will be hidden in the house. So like on your render, that won't be visible. Because if I will resize it now, then it will like the density, like the distance between the posts will change and it will just look a bit different. If it's like, if that works for you, because that's only for the sides, and like, and we will do the same side on the other, like the same one on this side, like it's not as visible as like, when you look from the front, but like that's the way it will work. I don't know if we have the same ones in like a shorter piece. So yeah, sometimes you just need to like, work around it a bit. When you have like smaller parts where you can, join them, then it's different. And some of them, if they don't have a post, then you can just add just a post, like even like a simple one, and just apply the same texture and then connect them. Outdoor staircase styles. Um, Is it like a staircase that it's okay, just going like outside?
Like coming from
Oh,
a patio down or the second floor.
okay. Mm, I'd say we can use some of the ones that we have here. Like for example, this one is with glass, and then you have like or as a texture on the steps. So yeah, like like we have so many styles of steps and like stairs. that I'm sure that you can use them indoors and outdoors. Just change the textures of them. Like these ones, they're like they're very inside ones, but even something like that, or the ones that we had with the glass, some of them they're pretty much like cement ones. Then you can easily use them as your outdoor stairs as well. Even like rounded ones here, if you need to add like a bit of a design. This one, like a modern stairs, they will work for the outside as well. How to change camera points. Um, is it on your walkthrough or for the render? So for the render, we can only change camera height and then you can rotate it. So if we go to take render, then if you want to change the angle, then you just simply rotate it. So with the walkthrough, if you go to walkthrough, if you want to change the camera, just let me go with the high density. Then you simply click on the camera and now you will rotate the screen on your right hand side. And as you can see, this view is changing. So then you can just place it in a spot where you want it to be. The same with any other cameras. If you want them to be facing any different direction, then you will just steer them with the screen on your right hand side. Okay, we're running out of time. Again, thank you so much for joining. And I hope it was helpful. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. You're welcome. Take care, guys.